My name is Eddie Sandifolo. I'm an actor, writer, director in Zimbabwe. Growing up as a little kid, the only thing I would think of is acting. I was quite privileged to have grown up in a family with a TV set where we could watch different films, different programs. That's where my inspiration of acting came from. ZBC has impacted my career in a very positive way. You know, I'll take you back to where I started in acting, which is like 2003. That's a long time ago. I started acting for TV, and I'm still acting for TV. So TV is ZBC. So I encourage you viewers back home to please pay your TV and radio license so we can keep on giving you the best programs of your liking.
Stay informed and entertained. Pay your ZBC radio and TV license today.
Make a wish come true with the TM Pick and Pay Christmas Wish. Visit our Facebook page for more details. This time check is brought to you by TM Pick and Pay.
Good evening and welcome to the main news coming to you live from our Pockets Hill studios. I am Tariro Manamike with Peaceway Shomanyika at the Sign Language Desk.
Good evening, my name is Joyce Mabika. Dora Nube will be joining us later on from our Montrose studios in Bulawayo. We start off the bulletin with our leading stories tonight.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa caps more than 150 graduates at Manicaland State University of Applied Sciences.
15,000 new HIV infections among adolescents recorded in the country last year.
Business community eyes growth and recovery in 2025.
And in sport, French Embassy honors Zim athletes who participated at the 2024 Olympics and Paralympic Games.
Those were our leading headlines. We now take a look at the leading story tonight. More than 150 graduates were capped by President Emmerson Mnangagwa at Manicaland State University of Applied Sciences' third graduation ceremony in Mutare this Thursday.
Our political editor Bruce Chawanda has more.
The graduation theme, Advancing Sustainable Production, Industrialization and Modernization through Research and Innovation, aligns with the country's vision for a prosperous Zimbabwe, which fosters an environment where research, innovation and development thrive. The graduation ceremony was presided over by President Emmerson Mnangagwa, who is also the Chancellor of the university. 62 of the graduates are female, while 91 are male, with 8 of them graduating with first-class degrees. Kamchirai Chigariro was the best female graduating student for the Bachelor of Metallurgy honors degree with 34 distinctions, while Tinashe Kaunapi has 33 distinctions in the Bachelor of Engineering in Mining and Mineral Processing honors degree.
Vakashingirira mune zvose zvavanoita zvinobudirira. Vakaramba vachishingirira if they enjoy in whatever hardship they face. Working hard, studying hard and praying above all to God, they will make it definitely in the end.
I mainly attribute my success to hard work, mainly on a daily basis. You know, you just work daily, you don't wait till it's the exams time.
Manicaland State University of Applied Sciences Vice Chancellor Professor Albert Chawanda said the future belongs to those who can harness the power of knowledge for sustainable development.
I have no doubt in my mind that through their education, these graduates are more than prepared to transform ideas into solutions using research and innovation to tackle pressing issues bedeviling our dear country.
Professor Chawanda said the establishment of a vibrant innovation and agro-industrial park would transform the university into a citadel of research.
This initiative represents a significant step towards fostering innovation, technological advancement, and sustainable industrial growth, and we are deeply grateful to your leadership and vision in making this project a reality. We look forward to seeing its positive impact on our academic community as well as the wider economy. I am happy to report that the perimeter of the agro park is now fenced, including 1,000 hectares for a game park, 10 kilometers of ZESA 11 kVA and 33 kVA power lines have been rerouted to allow full utilization of the 210 hectares under center pivots irrigation. The geospatial planning for the agro park was done by the Zimbabwe National Geospatial and Space Agency to provide a comprehensive spatial layout to support infrastructure planning and future developments. The next phase shall involve establishing an agro-processing and value addition plant, as well as establishing the Makoni Community Outgrowers Scheme.
The institution is already secured a research grant of 55,800 United States dollars from the Research Council of Zimbabwe and the Zimbabwe Energy Regulatory Authority. The university specializes in applied sciences, medical and health, mineral, forestry and agricultural sciences, as well as tourism and hospitality. Bruce Chawanda, SABC News, Mutare.
Visiting Nigeria Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, has paid a courtesy call on President Emmerson Mnangagwa at State House in Harare, where he praised Zimbabwe as an agricultural powerhouse.
The Nigerian minister, who also met his Zimbabwean counterpart, Dr. Masuka, says his country is seeking to learn from Zimbabwe's successful agrarian reforms and strategies, which have put the country on a pedestal towards food and nutritional self-sufficiency.
Zimbabwe's agricultural prowess and ingenuity is an envy of many people across the African continent. Talk of Fumvudza Intwasa mechanization and full self-sufficiency. Early Thursday morning, the Nigerian Minister of Agriculture and Food Security met the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa at State House. That is Mr. Abubakar Shaib Kyari. He's leading a delegation of 12 to see what this country is doing in terms of increasing agricultural production. Thanks to the visionary leadership of President Emmerson Mnangagwa on positive policies, including linking up with AfriTrade, a Belarusian company, underscored Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Rural Development Minister Dr. Masuka.
Colleagues from Nigeria are undertaking this visit to witness the transformation that has taken place in the agricultural space in Zimbabwe, led by His Excellency the President, Dr. Mnangagwa, as a farmer himself of repute, leading by example. So a combination of leadership, political will is displayed in the person of the President in the transformation of agriculture. As we transform agriculture, as we produce more, we need to construct more storage, so more silo expansion, and we're finalizing the discussions on them, trying to assist us with this project. We are also saying that we need to convert the grain from farmers' fields to the silos.
Visitors from afar sometimes give you a better picture and the views of what you are doing right or wrong. The Nigerian Minister of Agriculture and Food Security speaks on what his team has observed since their arrival in Harare.
We are somehow somewhere around your situation 5 years ago, and we have seen the trajectory, we have seen the effort, like you rightly pointed out. The effort of Mr. President in Zimbabwe is tremendous. It is something that is to be complimented, because commended. Goes without saying that that is true leadership, and that is because you mentioned that the people were resilient and they stood up, they rose up to the occasion. But if there is not trusted leadership, they will not do that. So there was that able leadership, there was that the trust and confidence that they have in the leader that they took up. And today, we're happy that Zimbabwe is food sufficient.
Republics willing to cooperate on how best to increase their agricultural production. It's a badge of honor for the local leadership that today the country is wheat self-sufficient and on the road to food self-sufficiency and security. And the Nigerians are quite impressed. Ruben Barweza, ZBC News, Harare.
In a related story, Zimbabwe's successful implementation of the agriculture mechanization program has attracted regional interest, with a Nigeria delegation touring the Bison Agro Machinery Workshop in Harare to appreciate how the multi-million-dollar facility is boosting productivity and food security. More from Tindai Mningwa.
The high-powered delegation from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, led by the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, was here in Wilberforce this Thursday morning, where it was taken through the Bizo Agro Machinery display of tractors and various agricultural implements. The delegation was taken to a workshop which provides space and training for servicing of the fleet of tractors and equipment made possible through Zimbabwe's partnership with Belarus. Belarus ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency General Ihama Chalau, summed up the success achieved since the launch of the multi-million-dollar Zimbabwe-Belarus mechanization deal.
We are very glad to show to Nigerian delegation what we have done here in Zimbabwe. This you see today that we have good, very great, very huge maintenance center, and we are very proud also that there are already we opened additional 3 maintenance centers in different parts of Zimbabwe. So we are ready to provide this experience to Nigeria.
Nigerian head of delegation Senator Abubakar Kyari says their visit has been an eye-opener.
What we need to do is to increase yield on the lands that we have now. So one way is mechanization. Mechanization from land preparation to harvest, all in between. We are, so my government has been able to factor in all this. And one aspect is the procurement of tractors and harvesters from Belarus. But we came here to see what kind of arrangement they have done with the smallholder farmers, with the large farmers, and so that we can learn lessons from positive and negative aspects of it.
The launch of the Zimbabwe-Belarus mechanization facility in 2019 has empowered thousands of farmers across the country with the best equipment, which has enabled them to boost food security at national level. Tendai Munengwa, ZBC News, Harare.
The Zimbabwe Gold Reserves rebuilding agenda is gaining traction amid revelations that deliveries of the yellow metal to Fidelity Gold refineries are inching closer to the target of 35 tons. Our business editor, Stanley James, reports that gold deliveries have reached 32 tons in the first 11 months of the year, against an overall target of 35 tons. More details in the upcoming report.
Government earlier this year announced a 35-ton gold production target, aided by measures to cushion producers against viability constraints. The move was taken into consideration by government in light of the need to rebuild foreign currency reserves and bolster the domestic structured currency. 11 months on, data from the country's sole gold buying agency Fidelity Gold Refiners is showing over 32 tons of the yellow metal have been delivered. The agency is also attributing the trend to firming global prices of the yellow metal and the removal of a 15% value-added tax on sales. The data reflects that small-scale gold miners are dominating the overall deliveries of the commodity. Under the gold rebuilding agenda, government is expecting to anchor the structured currency with precious minerals such as gold, among others. Treasury has also revealed that gold export earnings will contribute over 40% of overall foreign currency inflows into the economy. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
The People's Republic of China has handed over 80 tons of wheat and a consignment of groceries to thousands of women in Jimba East, cementing the existing relations between the Asian giant and Zimbabwe.
Addressing thousands at Herbert Chitepo Primary School in Zvimba East this Thursday, ZANU-PF National Chairperson Honorable Opamchinguri Kashiri, who is also the Minister of Defense, said Zimbabwe and China are all-weather friends whose relations have stood the test of time.
Takatanga kuona muno kune manisi President atara kuti 2030 vision yawo wachibva wati infrastructural development ma programs akawanda ma projects arubva kuma China. Manise iri kutaurwa steel ndiyo the largest producer mu Africa yese. Inotikosherei Manise nema Chinese kana waita steel program ya president yekuti tiite resuscitate railway zvakare president wari kuti food security infrastructure yese yemadhamu inoshandisa steel.
Chinese ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Zhou Ding, echoed the sentiments after handing over 80 tons of wheat, fertilizers and an assortment of groceries which were distributed at the event.
The Chinese private sector investment has continued to increase, creating huge tax revenue for the government and hundreds of thousands of job opportunities for the people.
ZANU-PF Secretary for Women's Affairs, Comrade Mobo Chinomona, and other senior government and ruling party officials spoke on the impact of the initiative in promoting women empowerment.
Now President wedu wa ED Mnangagwa wakaona kuti nyika ijeke iri kuda chairman ari wechidzimai. Munoona kudaro chairman wechidzimai wakutirangarira kuti ushamwari hwedu nemaChina tiri kupiwa marambi malaits iwawo. Zvino hatina kutaura zvemalaits chete, tatanya ushamwari hwekuti tigotanga mamwe makambani.
As we embark on this handover ceremony, let us not forget the ultimate goal of our efforts to improve the lives of our fellow citizens, promote sustainable development, and build a prosperous and inclusive province for all in the endeavor of leaving no one and no place behind.
This thoughtful gesture is a testament to the enduring and fruitful friendship between our two nations. And it will go a long way in uplifting the lives of women who are most in need.
Among the beneficiaries was 81-year-old Gogo Anna Mensa.
Ndinotenda baba, vanotipa chibage, vanotitambirisawo ma-fertilizer.
Zimbabwe is implementing a friends to all and enemy to none foreign policy, which has seen the country gaining international recognition and retaining to the family of nations under the Second Republic's re-engagement drive. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News.
Child protection groups are pushing for the establishment of a national sexual offender registry in the wake of reports that more than 3,500 girls and women fell victim to sexual violence in the first quarter of the year.
The shocking statistics were revealed by Childline on the sidelines of engagement with officials from the Ministry of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs in Harare this Wednesday.
In the first quarter of 2024, already we have records that show that 3,500 girls and women have been sexually violated, which already means that by the end of the year, we're talking about 15,000 cases that are on record. What about the ones that are not recorded? This would mean they are in their multitudes. Already Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Services tells us that about a third of the inmates that they have, about 30%, are sexual offenders, which makes it necessary for us to have a register of sorts, where we register sexual offenders and deter them from reoffending and protect our communities from repeat sexual offenders. It is often that one person who rapes a child or a woman, they may have done it before.
Permanent Secretary for Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Mrs. Vimbai-Nyemba, pledged commitment to protecting women and girls from sexual vultures.
Domestic violence laws are all in place to protect women and children. We have always had our registers, of course, but they don't specify which offense, but this is very specific to say who are these. I'm sure this is meant to protect our vulnerable and also to rehabilitate the offenders themselves. If we get to know who they are, something can be done to assist them.
Government has made significant strides in addressing gender-based violence, including the enactment of the Sexual Offences Act, National Gender-Based Violence Strategy, and the strengthening of the justice delivery system to ensure perpetrators are held accountable. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Regional collaboration and exchange programs have been identified as critical for correctional facilities to meet global standards.
A delegation from the Rwanda Correctional Service led by Commissioner General Evariste Murenzi paid a courtesy call on the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambi in Harare this Friday.
As Africans, nations, we must collaborate and ensure that we share experiences to improve our correctional facilities so that we can offer better services to those that we have incarcerated and rehabilitated for purposes of reintegrating into society.
Commissioner General Murenzi also met his counterpart, Commissioner General Moses Chiwobu of the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service.
Zimbabwe Prison and Community Service and Correctional Service is very advanced in terms of rehabilitation of inmates. For the proper integration of inmates, former inmates into society. So we are going to benchmark on whatever they are doing in terms of rehabilitation.
Commissioner Chiwobu stressed the importance of regional collaborations to come up with innovative ways of reducing the prison population.
We are going to continue working together with Rwanda, not only Rwanda, but SADC and Africa as a whole, so that we can be able to improve the situation in our prisons, especially on rehabilitation of offenders and reintegration.
The Rwandan delegation is in the country to attend the ZPCS graduation ceremony scheduled for this Friday, where 5 of its members will be among the graduates. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
You're watching the main news. Remember to visit our website for these and more stories in detail. Our website is www.zbcnews.co.zw. You can also link up with us on various social media platforms. We are on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitter. We are ZBC News Online. Still to come in this bulletin.
15,000 new HIV infections amongst adolescents recorded in the country last year. Business community eyes growth and recovery in 2025. And in sport, French Embassy honors Zim athletes who participated at the 2024 Olympics and Paralympic Games. And on that note, we take a short break, but we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Mawuya, Samngele. Welcome home, where each sunrise paints a new masterpiece and every corner echoes with memories and a call to create more. We can catch up over a cup of tea, a glass of Zambezi beer, or just relax and watch sunsets together. Escape into the world and enjoy the unparalleled safari experience that is unmatched. From self-drives to to guided tours. From the iconic elephants of Hwange National Park to the elusive big cats, our safaris promise unforgettable encounters. We have accommodation to cater for every budget, from camping to luxury lodges. You are spoiled for choice, from sharing self-catering properties to all-inclusive, high-end luxurious safari camps. From the tranquil waters of Lake Kariba, the largest man-made lake in the world, to the thundering Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe is a hub of both soft and adrenaline travelers. We know you missed the Zimbabwean beef, sadzarezio, matemba, berere, and many flavors of Zimbabwe. Our culinary journey is a celebration of diversity as we enjoy the beauty of our beloved country. Let the adventure begin. Travel and experience Zimbabwe this festive season. Zimbabwe, travel Zimbabwe.
The ZANU-PF Secretary General, Comrade Dr. Obet Moses Mpofu, on behalf of the Colossal Revolutionary Party's Politburo, Central Committee, and members of staff, join our party supporters and the nation at large in congratulating our esteemed First Lady and Secretary for Environment and Tourism, Her Excellency Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, for attaining yet another accolade in the form of her earned Doctor of Philosophy degree in Tourism and Hospitality Management. This latest sterling academic achievement demonstrates that Your Excellency is now indeed an accomplished academic who has soared to greater heights in the field of academia, while at the same time pursuing philanthropic responsibilities which are acclaimed globally. May women folk, especially the girl child, continue to look up to you in emulation. Pambili le ZANU-PF. Pambili le ZANU-PF. Forward with ZANU-PF. Nyika inova kwa nevenevayo, ilizwe lakiwa ngabanikazi balo.
Welcome back. You are still watching the main news. Zimbabwe's quest to increase the national herd has received a major boost after the Republic of Indonesia donated more than 100 straws of semen to start breeders for artificial insemination.
With Zimbabwe's drive to turn around the fortunes of the livestock sector having been slowed down by the El Nino-induced drought and cattle diseases, there is consensus among livestock breeders that there should be a robust process to restock through a wide array of interventions, including artificial insemination. It is with this in mind that the donation of more than 1,000 semen straws of superior breeds from the Republic of Indonesia, a culmination of a training program of Zimbabwe livestock experts in Indonesia, has been welcomed as a major step in the revival of the sector.
But what I understand is they've brought a lot of breeds, Angus included, Brahman, Simmental, and so on. But 1,000 straws at 60% or 65% conception rate will give us 650 to 700 new genetics in our breeding. So what that translates to is a huge improvement to our cattle industry.
Livestock experts have welcomed the development as a massive boost for the livestock recovery and growth plan.
Besides beef straws, they've also donated a consignment of 200 Holstein. These are dairy breeds, and we've identified farmers who should benefit from these genetics, from superior genetics as well.
The donation is testimony to the excellent bilateral relations between Zimbabwe and Indonesia, with the Asian country pledging its support for Zimbabwe's agriculture sector growth.
This program is basically how then we can strengthen our bilateral cooperation on food security. I think Zimbabwe doing food security, Indonesia also do food security. So in Indonesia, the artificial insemination is part of the food security, to make sure that you have a better quality of cattle, a better variety of meat. We do have some little money to help other countries like Zimbabwe.
The semen consignment comprises 1,000 straws of Brahman, Red Angus, Simmental and Limousin breeds, and an additional 200 straws of superior Holstein dairy breed. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Umzingwane.
On that note, we now cross over to our Montrose studios where Dora Ngube is on standby. Good evening, Dora.
Thank you so much, Teridor and Joyce, and good evening. Vocational training centers have been identified as a vital tool for youths to fight drug abuse and empower them to contribute to national development.
Over 2,000 youths graduated at Lopengula Vocational Training Center in Bulawayo after completing their studies in industrial disciplines which include agriculture, catering, carpentry, leather studies, welding and cosmetology. Youth Empowerment Development and Vocational Training Minister Honorable Tino Machakaire, who was the guest of honor, noted the importance of the vocational training centers in capacitating young people to make informed choices.
The nation faces a growing crisis of drug and substance abuse among our youth, a challenge that demands a multi-sectoral approach. Vocational training centers are essential in these efforts as they provide young people with valuable skills, meaningful alternatives, and a sense of purpose, reducing the vulnerability to substance abuse. By offering technical training, mentorship, and life skills development, VTCs help build resilience, empowering youth to make healthier choices and pursue productive futures. In addressing issues like unemployment and social marginalization, VTCs offer a path forward, making them a vital component of any strategy to reduce drug demand and foster a healthier, more prosperous nation.
Graduates are excited about the prospects that lie ahead.
As for me, I think sizangihambisa phezulu ngoba so far sengiqalile ukuthi ngizibhekele. Ngifuna ukuthi ngizivulele yami company ukuthi la ngikwanisa ukuzigcina kusasa ngigcine imoli yami.
Mina sesingisukumisile already because I've achieved a lot. Like lapho sengisebenza khona futhi I'm also a head chef.
Government is revitalizing vocational training centers to ensure youths are empowered as the country journeys towards an upper middle income society by 2030. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The National AIDS Council and development partners have upscaled the fight to curb new HIV infections among adolescents amid revelations that 15,000 new infections were recorded last year in Zimbabwe.
While Zimbabwe is still celebrating achieving the 95 targets in new HIV infections and people succumbing to AIDS, the 15,000 new infections and over 17,000 AIDS deaths recorded in 2023 might be a stark reminder that the epidemic remains vicious. As such, the National AIDS Council and Development have deployed foot soldiers in rural communities to consolidate gains made in the fight against the epidemic.
Pakungano leliya lino support group ndipo patinobati pana luzivo kwatinobetawana kene tagwana ku Ministry of Health kene tagwana kumwe nkhwinya unotama nezvinhu zve-HIV
nceda vanhu muhango yose kuti besi kuligwe ne-HIV negciwane leli kwazo kuvana kuti vana besibhate futhi gciwane leli lipelele kutili ngobe iswikwa kusina zvidiyo.
Siyenza okwamankazana ayi 10 to 24 girls siyenza okwe prevention component.
We are having a male engagement program that we are going to implement this year, where we are going to identify male champions within the communities, the school communities that we are targeting. So they are going to be doing sessions with the boys.
The Ministry of Health and Childcare has trained and deployed community adolescent treatment supporters across the country to assist their peers in adhering to antiretroviral therapy.
In Matabeleland and South Province, we have achieved the agreed targets of 95 among adults, but we are still battling to a greater extent among children and adolescents. We should continue to scale up HIV prevention interventions and also take the treatment services to the communities so that everyone has access to them, in particular the adolescent boys girls and young women.
Government is on a drive to consolidate gains made in the fight against new infections as the country surges towards ending HIV by 2030.
Based on test and treat approach, all people have been tested HIV positive, have been initiated on antiretroviral therapy and achieved viral load suppression. We, however, have to remain vigilant to ensure cases of defaulting and drug resistance are minimized, while also attending to associated non-communicable diseases.
This year's commemorations are running under the theme, Take the Right Path, My Health, My Rights, Our Responsibility. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Bulilima.
Learners from Hwange district have been given a lifeline through government's school feeding program, which has helped them to focus more on their studies.
On a sweltering Wednesday afternoon, learners at Breakfast Primary School in Hwange district eagerly wait for lunch. The Skadas chorus from the Mopane trees provides a rhythmic backdrop as they line up for a hot meal. For some, this might be their first or last meal of the day.
Ngebreak siyakhona ukuthi silomphako wethu sidle kodwa ngelunch siyasesilambile sibe sidla ukudla okwesikolo lapha. Kusinceda lokuthi kuyasinika i-energy yokuthi sichova amabhasikili sesiyofika ekhaya. Kasho ukuthi bathira energy
School officials have observed a positive impact on academic performance due to the feeding program.
When the feeding program began, learners began to attend school. Most of our learners live maybe about 5 kilometers away from the school. It really assisted us because learners can now participate. They are very interested in everything that is happening around the school.
Awakwanda kuti iswaswe tigwasiyane about vwimina muma areas kuti kete duza ma concessions vachita ma hunting ninga varati gwasya abuyani veda ninzovu nyama nzi vanga vari kudya vete chikoro chizoenda kuti ma concessions akwana 3.
Launched this year in response to the El Nino induced drought, the school feeding program has provided a lifeline to students after over 9,000 metric tons of maize meal were delivered across the country. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Hwange.
Tourism players in the Midlands are pursuing strategic alliances in a move set to boost the provincial tourism industry.
The future of the tourism sector is looking bright for the Midlands province as the Second Republic comes up with a cocktail of measures to ensure the industry realizes its full potential. The Zimbabwe Tourism Authority ZTA is engaging tourism players in Midlands province to come up with meaningful synergies aimed at ensuring government tourism recovery and growth plan becomes a reality.
We are going to be focusing more on Gandavaroi in Gokwe. We are focusing on new hotels being built around the province. We are looking at new facilities, self-catering facilities coming up in Rishavani. That all together should help to improve our product offering and hopefully attract new markets to the province.
The opportunities are massive, and we're constantly trying to strive to better ourselves, one, and trying to create a better experience for our visitors. And I think with the collaboration with ZTA, we can only go in one direction. And
government is impressed by the performance of the tourism sector in the Midlands province, which saw provincial gross domestic product GDP in the sector growing by 18.2% in 2022.
I am therefore grateful to His Excellency the President of the Republic, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, for spearheading post-COVID-19 era tourism recovery and growth plan anchored by engagement and re-engagement agenda, as well as the easy of doing business approach, which is putting Zimbabwe back on the global economic arena, as evidenced by 1, the Zimbo campaign, which is focused on promoting our domestic tourism, establishment of a cultural village in Gokwe North, religious tourism in Kokwe South, the development of Mundi Mataga Dam to a resort area, and development of Karongwe Gorge into a tourism project.
This comes after the Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality Industry launched the Travel Zimbabwe campaign in Mashonaland Central Province with a focus on promoting domestic tourism. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
That's all we had for you from our Montrose News Desk. Tari and Joyce, it's back to you.
Indeed, thank you very much, Dora. Now, in our next story, the High Court has thrown out Harare businessmen Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofu's request to have their matter referred to the Constitutional Court. The duo is facing charges of fraud involving more than $7 million in a goat supply tender scam.
Chimombe and Mpofu's bid to have their matter referred to the Constitutional Court flopped after High Court Judge Justice Pisrai Kwenda ruled against them. In his ruling, Justice Kwenda dismissed all 17 issues raised by the duo, who claimed their constitutional rights were being infringed upon. He said Chimombe and Mpofu should have raised their constitutional concerns with the Magistrates Court, highlighting that their request is frivolous and has no merit. The duo, remanded in custody, is accused of defrauding the government of more than $7 million in a goat supply tender scam. They allegedly forged documents for their company, Black Deck Private Limited, to secure a tender issued by the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development. They are expected back in court on the 10th of February next year for continuation of trial. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Beyond our borders, Ghanaians are set to vote in presidential and national assembly elections this Saturday. That and more in the following report.
The West African country has to pause on the 7th of December to elect a new president and 276 legislators. Analysts say, although the Ghana Electoral Commission has approved 12 candidates on the presidential ballot, on the ground the race is between two candidates representing the ruling New Patriotic Party NPP and the National Democratic Congress NDC. The 12 presidential candidates comprise 8 political party candidates and 4 independent candidates. Incumbent President Nana Akufo-Addo of the NPP is finishing his term, with Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia being chosen as the ruling party candidate. He will battle it out with former President John Dramani Mahama of NDC. The winning candidate should get more than half the votes cast, and if there's no clear winner, there will be a runoff pitting candidates who would have amassed the highest number of votes.
The United Nations General Assembly 10th Emergency Special Session to discuss the situation in Israel and Palestine has resumed. President of the 79th session of the UN General Assembly, Filman Yang, has urged the Israeli government to fulfill its obligations under international law. This includes allowing the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, to continue working in the occupied Palestinian territories. During the meeting, permanent observer of the State of Palestine to the United Nations, Riyad Mansour, called for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire. Reports say Israeli troops launched a bomb attack on a neighborhood in northern Gaza City and airstrikes on a camp for displaced people, as well as food storage facilities in southern Gaza's Khan Yunis, causing fatalities. Meanwhile, the Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli onslaught in the Gaza Strip has gone beyond 44,000, with around 105,000 wounded since the 7th of October last year.
On that note, we work for business.
The Commissioner General Dr. Moses Cyril Ngawaite Chihovu, Deputy Commissioner Generals, Senior Officers, and all members of the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service family extend their warmest congratulations to the First Lady of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Her Excellency Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, on her conferment of a Doctor of Philosophy PhD in Tourism and Hospitality Management from the Midlands State University. Amai Mnangagwa's unwavering commitment to academic excellence showcases the strength and capability of women. Her achievement inspires countless women across Zimbabwe and beyond to pursue their dreams and contribute meaningfully to their fields. As a distinguished role model, Dr. Mnangagwa exemplifies the impact of perseverance and hard work. Her dedication to advancing her education in tourism and hospitality management is commendable and reflects her vision for the future of our nation. In her role, Dr. Mnangagwa has significantly contributed to the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service, ZPCS. Her initiatives have positively impacted the rehabilitation and reintegration of inmates, aligning with her PhD focus on tourism and hospitality management. Her efforts in promoting community involvement in offender rehabilitation and reintegration have been instrumental in transforming lives and fostering a more inclusive society. We extend our best wishes to Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa for a continued success and contributions to society. May her journey inspire many to strive for academic and professional excellence. Our profound congratulations to you, Your Excellency, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope. ZPCS, for incarceration, rehabilitation and reintegration of offenders into the society. Applications are invited for an apprenticeship training program with the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation in the Engineering Broadcasting Technology Department commencing January 2025. Applicable trade, electrical engineering, communication systems. Ideal candidates should satisfy the following minimum requirements and submit a minimum of 5 O-level subjects, including mathematics, English language and science with grade C or better. At least 2 A-level passes will be an added advantage. Clearance letter from the Apprenticeship and Skilled Manpower Board. Preference will be given to applicants with higher educational qualifications. Certified copies of national ID, birth certificate and educational certificates. Be aged between 16 and 23 years by the 31st of December 2024. Applicants are invited to visit the corporation's website www.zbc.co.zw to apply or email applications to students@zbc.co.zw. Closing date is 10 December 2024.
2018 kubuyile be-EU bayikhomane ne-SAT nga-Sustainable Agricultural Technology. Vanhu valava vayidonisile make World Conflicts mukudeliwa hi tihomu hi timhisi na tinghala. Ya swi vula ku ya hikwalaho va hi donisile mahlayiselo hi tihomu ta hina ku hi fanele aka swivala swi nga tiya leswi swi vekiwa ti ma-electric fence. Ta swi vula hi kumile ma-opportunities ko tala u kota ku save tihomu ta hina kumbe ku endla start ma-own programs ta hina ma-own project a hina ku fana ne-butchery ya ha ri kwalaho ni khensa ngopfu hi mhaka village ya hina yemihlangu leyi so far ya tiva ku a hi fanele ku hlupheka hina tihomu ka swi loko hi ne nhluvuko ndhawini ya hina. We are empowered.
Welcome back. We now give you the business news. Zimbabwe's business community is confident of the country's growth and recovery prospects after showing resilience against local and global shocks this year. Stanley James gives us more.
A report for the 2024 State of Industry and Commerce Survey released this Thursday reflects the challenges experienced by firms this year due to the El Nino-induced drought, as well as local and external shocks. The findings indicate a marginal slowdown in the average capacity utilization to 56.2% from 58.5% in 2023. Despite the challenges, the business community is confident of growth prospects in 2025.
We still remain very hopeful that we will have a better agricultural season, which will underpin our economic growth, coupled with strong or firmer commodity prices, which will also mean that our mining sector will also be seeing good performance. So overall, business remains positive, business remains confident.
As findings by the survey indicate, the informal sector is dominating overall production in most sectors, aided by an increase in formalization of operations. The central bank has hinted on measures to sustain growth.
The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is committed to a low inflation, high growth economy. But sometimes some measures may conflict. But I can assure you that the idea here is to make sure that going forward into 2025, the 6% envisioned growth is going to.
Government, while endorsing the findings of the report, has assured the industry of more engagements and favorable business conditions.
I would like to take this opportunity to commend the private sector for its forthright spirit in collaboration with government. It will take full collaboration between the public and private sectors for our industrial reconstruction and growth plan to succeed.
Captains of Industry and Commerce believe a growth of firms can be sustained by a stable currency and exchange rate, support for firms, skills and development, energy and power reforms, tax relief measures, and anti-corruption systems. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
The main news will take a break now. When we return, we'll join Anna Shemrombedzi in the Sports Corner.
Get your business ready for the festive season with ZBC. Join us for the ZBC Mega Festive Business Promotion running from the 1st of November of 2024 all the way to January 31 of 2025. Enjoy an incredible cash discount of over 50% across all ZBC platforms. This is your opportunity to make your business shine. So celebrate with ZBC and watch your business thrive by simply booking your spot right now. For more information, call Tandeka on 0719 594 426 or Martha on 0719 593 532 or Precious on 0719 593 510 or email tandeka.mubi@zbc.co.zw. Terms and conditions apply.
I am Justin Matlatla. I'm the executive producer of the online news desk. I'm also your anchor for the ZBC News and Current Affairs programs that touch on different subjects, be it social issues, be it sport, be it business, be it economics. I believe it's important that people pay license fees for ZBC because that way the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation is able to fund the news gathering processes so that across the country, whatever is happening, the developments that are taking place can be shared with the generality of the people through ZBC. So I encourage Zimbabweans to continue paying their TV and radio licenses in order to support the national broadcaster and to make sure that it continues to produce the programs that you love to watch.
Stay informed and entertained. Pay your ZBC radio and TV license today.
In Paris.
Applications are invited for an apprenticeship training program with the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation in the Engineering Broadcasting Technology Department commencing January 2025. Applicable trade, electrical engineering, communication systems. Ideal candidates should satisfy the following minimum requirements and submit a minimum of 5 O-level subjects, including mathematics, English language and science with grade C or better. At least 2 A-level passes will be an added advantage. Clearance letter from the Apprenticeship and Skilled Manpower Board. Preference will be given to applicants with higher educational qualifications. Certified copies of national ID, birth certificate and educational certificates. Be aged between 16 and 23 years by the 31st of December 2024. Applicants are invited to visit the corporation's website www.zbc.co.zw to apply or email applications to students@zbc.co.zw. Closing date is 10 December 2024.
Time for sports and welcome to the Sports Corner. Anna Shemrombedzi here with the latest in the world of sport. Now, France has pledged its commitment to strengthening collaborations with Zimbabwe in the sports sector, saying the performance by Zimbabwean athletes at the 2024 Olympics and Paralympic Games held in Paris was impressive.
Zimbabwean athletes who participated at the 2024 Olympic and Paralympic Games in Paris have been honored for their performances and determination they showed while representing Zimbabwe on the world stage. Speaking at an event hosted by the French Embassy at its residency in Harare Wednesday evening, Deputy Minister of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture, Honorable Emily Jesiah, expressed gratitude to the French Embassy for their unwavering support to athletics in Zimbabwe and showered praises to the athletes.
As we celebrate the achievements of our athletes, it is vital that we continue to support them and provide the necessary resources and training to allow them to build on their successes. This evening, ladies and gentlemen, let us come together to honor the passion and dedication of our athletes and the vital role they play in promoting Zimbabwe on the global stage.
France top envoy to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Paul Berrand Barrett, spoke on their commitment to supporting Zimbabwean sport.
Look forward to developing the relationships in the sports and para-sports between France and Zimbabwe.
The athletes are grateful for the recognition.
It's a motivation to us to the next edition of the Olympics, which I think with the good preparation, I can manage to qualify again.
They do understand that, you know what, I went there and I wanted to do my best. Even things they didn't go well according to my plan, they are still proud of me, so I'm so happy.
The fact that I went to France to represent the country, I think it's something incredible and something that I'm also really proud of.
This was a huge step for me to compete in Paris as a Paralympian athlete, and everyone was impressed to see me.
Stephen Cox, Paige Vende Westerzen, Denelson Cypranus, Makanaka Charamba, Tapua Makarau, Isaac Mpofu, Rutendo Nyahora, as well as Paralympic athletes Kudakwashe Chkwedera and Tinotenda Bango represented Zimbabwe in different disciplines at the 2024 Olympics and Paralympic Games. They were all presented with gifts courtesy of the French Embassy. Fungai Jaji, ZBC News, Harare.
Title aspirants Here Rentals and Black Rhinos Queens have stoked the flames after declaring their intentions of winning the coveted crown as the curtains comes down on the Hot Women's Super League this Saturday.
Defending champions Herentals and former champions Black Rhinos have been putting in the hard work on the training pitch, and their determination to emerge victorious is palpable. Herentals Queens are seeking to make history in their third consecutive title, are leaving no stone unturned in their pursuit of glory. Top of the table with 78 points from 29 games, Herentals need a win in their last match of the season to retain the title.
Looking forward for the game. And as for the game, we are going there to fight. We are going there to strategize. It's not going to be an easy game. We don't want to underrate our opponent, but our emphasis is going there and fight hard so that we collect maximum points.
On the other hand, second-placed Black Rhinos Queens are hoping to take advantage of any slip-up by Herentals to return to the podium.
Takatarisira kuwina. More concentration. Focus on the game. Say my last games I have 3 games.
Third-place Chapungu Queens are also in the running for the title, although they have to rely on major upsets in the matches involving the top 2 teams. Meanwhile, in a boost to the league, the Hot Women's Super League trophy has arrived from China, adding to the excitement and anticipation build-up to the last day of the season.
Northern Region Division 1 League champions Scotland are confident of their chances at the inaugural Champion of Champions Cup set for Butter Stadium in Gweru this weekend.
The flamboyant Scotland, fresh from securing a place among the big boys in the Premier Soccer League, are eager to confirm their superiority over other newcomers. Under the guidance of Genesis Mangombe, who will be leading the team for the last time, Scotland's star-studded lineup is poised to make a statement. The likes of Alan Gadzikwa, crowd puller Denver Mukamba, talented midfielder King Nadolo, and winger Leroy Mavunga will undoubtedly bring their A-game, making Scotland a force to be reckoned with. The Champion of Champions Cup, running from Saturday to Sunday at Butter Stadium in Gweru, offers participating teams a unique opportunity to assess their strengths and weaknesses ahead of the 2025 PSL season.
It's very, very important in terms of
also assessing ourselves how good we are coming next year. We have some good players here who also want to prove that they can also still go and play in the PSL. So it's also their time to showcase that they can do anything. They are also eligible to play next year.
Scotland's journey begins with a highly anticipated semi-final clash against Southern Region Division 1 champions ZPC Hwange on Saturday. The other semi-final features Eastern Region champions Triangle and hosts Okwekwe United, who won the Central Region.
The Zimbabwe men cricket team, the Chevrons, got a face-saver after a hard-fought 2-wicket victory over Pakistan in the third and final T20 encounter at Queen's Sports Club in Blair this Thursday.
The Chevrons, who had already conceded the series going into the last match, saved the best for the last in a nail-biting finale to the T20 series. With Pakistan having already clinched the series 2-1, the Chevrons, who have looked out of sorts and poor with the bat in recent matches, restored lost pride with the consolation victory. After winning the toss, Pakistan opted to bat and posted a modest total of 132 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. In response, the Chevrons were resilient in chasing down the target, finally crossing the line with 133 runs for the loss of 8 wickets to emerge victorious by 2 wickets. The Chevrons have struggled against Pakistan, having managed only 1 win in the one-day international series before successive defeats in the T20 series.
I'm very happy that we got over the line. I think the group really needed it just from a confidence point of view. They've been doing the right things in their prep. They've really worked hard.
With the T20 series done and dusted, the Chevrons are shifting focus to the upcoming tour of Afghanistan, scheduled for the end of this month.
The Chevrons' consolation win concludes the Sports Corner tonight. Now, let's take a look at the weather.
Hello there, welcome. Let's take a look at the weather. Yesterday, sunny and hot conditions prevailed over much parts of the country, with areas along the Zambezi and Limpopo Valley recording the highest maximum temperatures. Today, partly cloudy and hot conditions prevailed in all Matabeleland provinces. However, the remaining parts of Zimbabwe were mostly sunny and hot by midday, and we kindly advise you to keep hydrated and cool as you do your day-to-day activities. Partly cloudy and hot conditions should prevail from Friday into Saturday, and we are expecting a slight drop in maximum temperatures on Sunday, as we are expecting cool air from the south with isolated thunder showers in the afternoon in all Matabeleland provinces as well as Mashonaland West Province. Overnight, cloud conditions are expected in all Matabeleland provinces. Elsewhere, it should be clear with mild conditions throughout the night. Tomorrow, it should be generally hot across the country with partly cloud conditions over much parts, and other areas should be mostly sunny. Blawayo should be hot in the afternoon, temperatures dropping on Sunday onwards. Matopo's windy as we get into Saturday onwards. Hot conditions on Friday, dropping temperatures on Sunday onwards. For Guandalupani, should be mostly sunny with hot afternoon conditions, temperatures dropping on Sunday onwards. Victoria Falls, hot conditions on Friday. Gweru should be mostly sunny with temperatures dropping on Sunday onwards. Kwekwe, very hot conditions in the afternoon, dropping as we get into Sunday. Kadoma, very hot conditions should apply as well, temperatures dropping on Sunday onwards. Partly cloud conditions with hot conditions on Friday. Harare should be partly cloudy, very hot in the afternoon. Kariba should be sunny with hot temperatures prevailing throughout the focus period. Masvingo, hot conditions throughout the focus period with partly cloud conditions. Pindura, partly cloudy with temperatures dropping on Sunday. Marondera, partly cloudy, isolated showers are expected in Nyanga, and hot conditions should be for temperatures dropping on Sunday onwards. That's all on weather news. Good evening, Zimbabwe.
And that concludes tonight's news bulletin from all of us.
It's good night.